Evening squad, how are you? How's your Wednesday been? So firstly, I just want to say I apologise that I had to reschedule for tonight. This morning when I was about maybe an hour before we were due to go live, all the builders arrived and started making a lot of noise. And yeah, it just was not going to work. I've saved your eardrums. So hopefully you can join me here live. And if not, of course, as always, I am going to be recording for catch up and I'll pop it onto the website so you can listen to it at your convenience. So I hope you've had a good day. And oh my goodness, if you have not done the workout from this morning, PJ, hello. If you've not done the workout from this morning, you need to do it because it's so much fun. It is mental. We did strength versus cardio upper body and it was crazy in the best way. So if you're looking for an express workout that does a bit of cardio, a bit of strength, and is just really fun and mental, that's your one. Go check it out. In fact, we've done some really, really fun workouts over the past few days. Not that we don't normally, but the past few days have been hilarious. It's been great. Hiya, Trish. Hello. Hope you've had a good day. So let's get straight on with the questions because we've got so many questions today. It's fabulous. Thank you all for your incredible questions, as always. And if you're watching this on the replay, do a hashtag replay so I know you've seen it. Mel, hello. Welcome. Alrighty. So question number one is from Suze, actually. As you know, I'm going on a long haul 13-hour flight soon. Any hints and tips? And firstly, I just want to say that I'm really excited for you. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Now, I don't know what you think with long haul. You can let me know in the comments. But I think it's a bit of a reframe when you go on a long haul flight. So as you can probably imagine, I am not the best at sitting still for a long period of time. I need something to do. I need like a plan of action. I need an activity. So what I do is have a bit of a reframe, say, okay, this is my opportunity now to relax, enjoy the food, watch a few films, get some work done. So I'll always go onto the plane with a task in hand. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this, but this is what I do. And then I complete my task, whatever that is. Usually it's like doing some choreography or something, like making it up in my head. Whereas Will is completely and utterly different. His frame of mind is, I am going to go on this flight and it is 3 films long and I can't wait. It's my time where no one can get in touch with me and I'm just going to relax and it's going to be great. Whereas I'm there like, how much is the Wi-Fi package? Hi, Sam. So firstly, I just want to say it's a reframe. And you can do what Will does where he says, okay, this flight is 3 hours, no, not 3 hours, 3 films long with a couple of meals in between. Now, in terms of your health and fitness, this is what you want to be doing. Firstly, try and get a really good night's sleep before you go on the flight. Because when you're going this long, 1, you're going to feel tired. And 2, you're probably going to be in a completely and utterly different time zone when you get there. So just try and get a really restful night's sleep before you go on the flight. A lot of people think, do you know what? No, I can stay up late because I've got to get into a new time zone anyway. Do you know what? You're going to be so tired. Just try and get a good night's sleep before. Second thing, make sure you stay hydrated, sipping all the time, take some water with you. It's so easy to get dehydrated when you're traveling, especially when you're traveling. So take some water with you, definitely. And also pack some healthy snacks. Like plain food is fine. It's definitely getting better, right? And I feel like on planes, generally they do portion size you quite well and you're not going to be moving anyway. So it's not like we need massive meals. But I would take some healthy snacks because sometimes there's quite a long time in between the meals on a flight. So maybe some cereal bars or protein bars or some nuts or something like that. Something just to keep you going and something to nibble at. I sometimes take popcorn as well. I would avoid things that are going to make you feel really bloated. So whatever that is for you, bloating foods for you, maybe things like I don't know, things like beans and stuff like that, or carbonated drinks. I would try and avoid the fizzy drinks. Really, it can just make you feel a little bit groggy and a little bit gross when you're on long haul. Then apart from that, I would be trying to move around every. It's difficult to say, but just every couple of hours or so. if that's just, doing some ankle circles, some knee lifts, getting up, going to the toilet, having a little bit of a stretch, standing up for a while, just kind of moving your body, getting some blood pumping around your body. And then these are tips that I use, okay? 2 tips here. 1, take baby wipes. I take baby wipes or face wipes, put them in your bag, because you thank me later, but you can use them for your hands. You can just really freshen up. When you've been on a 13-hour flight, you just feel greasy and gross. Let's be honest. It's like damage limitation here. So when you arrive there, just get a face wipe out, a baby wipe, and yeah, you'll feel so much better. You'll feel so refreshed. And the second tip that I have is get some noise cancelling headphones, or just wear your headphones, block the world out for a little bit. That's what I do. So even if I do feel a little bit sleepy, like I'm rubbish at sleeping on flights, but I will put my headphones on and just be in that space. And even if I try and drift off, you don't have to listen to babies crying or the people getting drunk in front or behind you. Or maybe you're one of them, can't beat them, join them. Couldn't fault you. But that's a really good tip. They're my tips. If anyone has any other tips, put them in the comments. That's a really good question. Okay, question number 2. So I'm looking down here because my laptop's here with all the questions. Question 2, is there an alternative way to do push-ups or upper body when your wrists hurt? Yes, there is. Quite often you will find that you get a bit of an ache in your wrists when you're doing push-ups, because your hand is fully flexed backwards. So if you're listening to this right now, so if you're listening on the podcast or if it's in the background, just put your hand out in front of you and imagine putting your hand flat on the floor. You can see the flexion in your wrists, how it's fully bending back. So there's a lot of pressure going into that part of your hand. So sometimes, well, all the time pretty much, when you hear me say do push-ups, I'll say press the weight into your fingers as well, just to try and distribute some of that weight. But what you want to try instead is doing a push-up on the flat of your fist. So you can see here, if I put my fist in front of me, there's the flat edge. It's unlike the push-up, right, where my wrist is fully flexed. My wrist is now straight. So that helps, definitely. So try that first of all. Other people, you can get those push-up bars, or handles, whatever you call them, where they're on the floor. You can try that. That's also quite useful, or holding dumbbells, as long as they're not going to roll around, and then doing your push-ups like that. Other than that, I'd just say try and do things that aren't going to aggravate your wrists all the time. Allow a bit of time for your wrists to strengthen and to build up that strength. So maybe doing even wall push-ups for a little bit, or bring your knees right underneath the hips and doing some push-ups like that, or just lying on your back and doing a chest press instead with a couple of hand weights. Change the exercise. And if you need to change the exercise completely, that's fine. You're in the comfort of your own home. Do something else. It doesn't matter if you're doing something different to us, as long as you're moving your body and, of course, not aggravating any injuries. We don't want that. And allow your wrists a little bit of recovery time. I hope that's helpful. Question number 3. Can you tell me more about the new membership you were talking about? I think it might be just what I need right now. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the reason I wanted to do this is not because I'm like, let's make more profit as a fitness business. I'm not trying to do it for that. I'm trying to do it because I want to have a bigger impact, and there's only one of me. So I was thinking of different ways to do it. And you'll remember a while ago, I asked you about coaching and got your opinion and asked you about things that you want to be working on. And a lot of people have said from the challenges that we've done, I really miss the WhatsApp groups, really like that accountability side. Now you can imagine from like mine, Will and Laura's perspective, running a WhatsApp group is a heck of a lot of admin. It really, really is. So I was trying to think, okay, how can we have that accountability for those who want that accountability in a WhatsApp group? How can we deliver coaching above and beyond what we already do? So it's focusing on more than just fitness. It's focusing on your nutrition, your stress management, well-being in more of an all-rounded, holistic way. And then also incorporate into a price that is beyond reasonable and incredible value as like a top-up. But then also, of course, it's going to take a lot of time from me, and there's only one of me. So how am I going to do all of this? So This is my plan of action, and I'm going to pilot it in the new year. So if you want to be part of it, please, please, please let me know. I'm literally doing this because I want to have a bigger impact and I want to be able to help you on a deeper level. This is the only reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this for you guys, and I really feel like it will help and just help you learn more about how to manage your well-being in so many different ways, and basically improve the quality of your life. So the way that you enjoy your life and the way that you show up. You can see I'm already getting really excited about it. I really love doing this kind of thing. I really do. So this is how I see it working for our pilot scheme anyway. So in the new year, if you want to do this, it's basically just going to be like almost like a top up, if you like. So if you want to take part in it, you can. If you don't have to. You can do it on a monthly basis, or you don't have to. I want it to be really, really flexible. So we'll have like a theme of the month, whatever that theme is. For example, healthy habits, or it might be nutrition. We're going to focus on really getting our nutrition straight for a month. And we'll do a coaching session on it, which will be round about 45 minutes, which you can watch on catch up, but we'll do it like live on Zoom. So we've got that interaction, but you can watch it whenever you like. So we'll have a set time for that. We'll do a separate small group workout. So that'll be separate to the usual workouts on the members area. So it's going to be a small group one. And if we're doing, say, like the focus of the month is strength training, we'll obviously stick on theme and do that kind of thing. We'll have a daily accountability in the WhatsApp group, and also that'll be there for support, motivation, sharing ideas, and just kind of keep you buzzing. So I think the Facebook group is great for that, but sometimes I don't know what you think, but I tend to miss quite a lot of things in the Facebook group because you don't always get the notifications for them. Whereas WhatsApp, it's dead easy. You just take it around with you wherever, right? And I realise WhatsApp isn't for everybody. So if you did want to do the coaching and the small group workout, but not have WhatsApp, then you could do that as well. So that's how I see it working. So you've got the coaching session, the small group session, and then the WhatsApp, working on a theme and just going in on that theme at different, I don't know, let me know what you think. But I think we'll do it for like 100 days. So I said 100-day pilot scheme, see what you think. I can get your feedback and we can basically adapt it from there. Please let me know in the comments if that's something that would interest you and that is something that you'd find useful. And also let me know in the comments if there's anything that I've missed or anything you think would be useful, because sometimes when you are running a business and you are trying out these new things and new ideas, there are blind spots that you don't really think about, and things that I wouldn't have appreciated or known. So do tell me, do let me know, because I do want to know. I'm doing this to enhance what I can offer you guys. Okay, I hope that was helpful, but that's it. It's very exciting, isn't it? And I was thinking, obviously I said I want to be really, really reasonable, like really reasonable, just £15 a month for all of that. So like 48p a day. I know it's extremely reasonable, but like I said, I just want to be able to deliver something that is really, really gonna help change things for you. Okay, how many rest days should I be having and how many workouts should I do each week? Now, this depends on the individual. Rest days, let's go with rest days first. You should always be aiming to have at least minimum 1 or 2 during your week. And rest day doesn't mean you have to sit and lie on the sofa all day. Sometimes active recovery is much better. So going on a really gentle walk, doing some stretches or some mobility work just to help that circulation, and that will really help your muscles as well. So that is rest day, just something really gentle. Minimum 1-2 days a week, I would say. Then your rest depends on what you've been doing, and it depends where you're at in your fitness journey. So you might have had a really long time off and you're getting back into fitness, or you might be new to this. You might be on a 6-week course and you're just starting your fitness journey. You will need more rest. If you are currently going through the perimenopause or you're postmenopausal, your body takes longer to adapt to the stresses from a workout because of that dip in estrogen. So therefore you might need more rest than you used to have. It depends on the intensity of your workout. So if you've just done a really, really intense workout, your body might need an extra rest day. Or say if you've done like a half marathon or a marathon, you're going to need loads more rest. So it depends on the intensity. If you're doing a really long workout, you might need more rest. So intensity, duration, and where you're at in your fitness journey and just in your life in general. So that's what I'd say with rest days, firstly. Secondly, was it how many workouts should I do each week? The number of workouts doesn't really matter. It's more about, what are you doing in total. So some people find that they're really, really busy and they're going to do them all at the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they'll do 3 workouts and they'll get their workouts done there and then. Just so you know, the government guidelines are 150 minutes of moderate activity, which can include vigorous cleaning and gardening and things like our power walking or our Pilates, or 75 minutes of vigorous. For that, you'd be thinking cycle, HIIT, combat, aerobics, stronger, that kind of thing. So that's what you want to be aiming for, and how you split that up is up to you. Some people, and I found this actually with our squad, and I find this in myself, it's better to do it every day, like little and often, because you get into that routine. So 6:30 every morning, 20 minutes, Monday to Friday, boom, done it. Got those minutes in, and maybe, one at the weekend or whatever you want to do. Some people find that is better. Some people find that doing 3 workouts or a little bit longer works better for them. It's totally up to you. And that's the best advice that I could give on that one. But for me, I like getting into a routine, and I feel like that helps me keep at something, keeps me consistent. And that's what we've been trying to do in the squad recently. And it's working really well. Like the 6:30 classes are busy. They are good. And it's, everyone's getting to that routine. They show up every day. They've done their workout and they feel great for the rest of the day. So 6:30s, and then the 9:30s, of course, they're pretty consistent as well. So if you prefer working out 3 times a week, come to the 9:30s, or just do it when it works for you. Find a time that works for you and do it. Plan it in your journal, commit to it, do it. Question number 5. Similarly, how long should I work out for? How long is good enough? Okay, so like I said, it doesn't matter how you split that time up. Some people prefer doing longer ones, some people prefer doing shorter ones. The thing I would say about doing shorter ones is that your energy levels are going to be really good. For that short amount of time, boom, you can fit it in. What a lot of people get into the frame of mind of doing, which I'd really like you to avoid if you can, is thinking that I don't have enough time, I've only got 15 minutes, or I've only got 20 minutes, or I've only got 10 minutes, or whatever. Something is always better than nothing. Always, always, always better than doing nothing. So please don't be the person that thinks, oh, well, I don't have my usual half hour, or oh, well, I don't have my usual 45 minutes or an hour, so I'm not going to do it. No point. No, there's always a point. It doesn't matter how long your workouts are, they will still be effective if you're getting them in. So just, something's always better than nothing, and aim for those, those guidelines of 150 minutes or 75 are vigorous. Or if you're used to doing more, then great, do more. Just remember the law of diminishing returns. So the more you do, the better up to a certain point, and then you start to plateau, and then actually you can almost not unfitness yourself, but that is the point where you're not really getting any extra benefit and actually a disbenefit. For example, injuries or fatigue when you're working out, you're just not feeling it. That level will be different for everybody. But yeah, try and hit those requirements, those minimum requirements, or slightly more. And that can even include, walks and stuff. Right. What type of training increases muscle mass? I heard you talking about it, and how is it related to your metabolism? So to increase your muscle mass, you want to be doing strength training, ideally using resistance. So that would be, weights or bands or barbells or hand weights or whatever. Using resistance, that is how you're going to build your muscle mass. You can also use resistance with body weight. It's not as effective. So I would say you want to be strength training, you want to be using some resistance. That to create a stimulus on your muscle. And when you work your muscles, it creates little micro tears, which sounds awful, but your body knits them back together, and that is how we get stronger. You get stronger from that. Now, you also want to be making sure that you help your muscles knit back together. Otherwise, we're not going to be getting stronger. So you need to be getting adequate protein into your diet, and you also need to be hydrating your muscles, and you need to be getting enough rest. We can't strength train every single day and expect to get loads stronger and for it to be really effective, because you're not giving your body any chance to knit back together or get stronger. So you need to create the stimulus, do your strength training. I would say at least a couple of times a week. If you're looking to build muscle, probably more than twice, maybe like three, 4 times. But anyway, minimum twice a week for anyone really. And then I would be getting that protein in, base every meal around a protein source. It doesn't have to be super complicated. And then get rest and hydrate. That is how you build muscle. And your metabolism is linked to how much lean muscle mass you have. So the more lean muscle mass you have, the higher your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. And that is your, basically your metabolic rate when you're not doing anything specific in terms of your exercise. So the amount of energy your body uses to breathe and pump your heart and digest your food and make you think and keep you alive, that's your BMR. So yeah, the more muscle mass you have, the higher your resting BMR, your metabolism, which we all want, don't we really? So keep on working at that muscle mass. Keep on moving your bodies, and it feels good as well. All right, any tips on bloating at the time of month? Oh, there's nothing worse, is there, when you just feel so bloated and so heavy and so blech. Yes, there are a few tips, and I would say control the controllables here, okay? This is what you want to do. Obviously, hydrate. Hydration is the best for bloating, no matter what. Secondly, you might want to avoid foods that are going to be really high in salt. Salt makes you retain more water. So I would be maybe avoiding things like that and avoiding anything that maybe triggers your gut as well. So for me, sometimes I have to avoid things like garlic and onion because that really triggers my gut. There's an example. It just makes me feel really bloated and gassy and horrible. So I would be avoiding things like that time of month, just to not aggravate anything. Listen to your body. I would be gentle. I would be moving my body to also help with the bloating. So things like gentle yoga or a gentle walk, that can really, really help as well. Peppermint tea, that's another one that can help. And just managing your stress in general, having a nice warm bath, doing a little bit of yoga, doing some breath work, and a gentle walk. Yeah, did I say gentle walk a few times? I can't remember, but yeah, it really helps. So that's what I would do. Next question. So many amazing questions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions left. On the days we don't work out and instead have a walk, what constitutes a walk? I know a 5-minute wander to the shop doesn't cut it. I hope that makes sense. What I'd be saying here is when we say do a walk on a rest day, it's more just to really get the blood flow around the body. So it is to, when you promote blood flow, that's going to help basically release all the toxins in your muscles and help your muscles recover a little bit quicker. Get rid of the DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, that soreness after a workout. It's just going to help if you just promote a little bit of blood flow. So nice gentle walk or doing some yoga or something like that. Now, what constitutes a walk? It's a difficult question, and I feel like so many people would answer this in a different way, but this is how I'd like you to think of it instead. So doing that, Sarah, hello, welcome. So doing that in terms of, what you're doing on a rest day, maybe like, I don't know, half an hour walk, getting out some fresh air. Or I would be more focusing on your steps, if that's what you're thinking about. Now, anything above 7,500 on average over the week is deemed active and beneficial for your health. So anything below that, you'd want to be thinking, okay, I should probably be doing a little bit more here for my overall health. Now, this is on average over the week. So if you've got a desk job and you really struggle to get your steps in on a Monday to Friday and you're just not hitting that 7.5, and in fact, you're nowhere near, don't worry. for now, just try and increase it by 20% until you get a little bit closer to that. And just make sure you make up for it where you can, like at the weekend. Or if you can get out on a lunch break walk, even if it is 15 or 20 minutes, yes, it's still a walk. Maybe you want to get some more steps in by going a little bit faster. I don't know. But I would be thinking more about the steps. So making sure that you are active overall. Overall, let's look at it in terms of a week. So you've got your scheduled workouts in there, and then just make sure you're moving your body enough. So 7,500 on average when you work it out over the week. Maybe a few less during Monday to Friday, and then you make up for it at the weekend. And then overall, you are being active enough to benefit your health for the long term, because that's what we want. Let me know if that's helpful. It is one of those, it's a difficult question to answer, but I would be thinking it more in terms of overall activity. And also sometimes, just getting any walk can be good. Like 5 minutes in the fresh air, it can do you the world of good. Just mentally, emotionally, just make you feel so good. Okay, question number 8. What are the pros and cons of stronger style training versus traditional weight training? Thinking the pulses and the halfways, fatigue and develop muscles faster. So just for those who aren't sure, stronger is where we're using lower weights, high repetition, and it's my own choreographed class, a little bit like Les Mills body pump style, that kind of thing. So low weights, high repetition, whereas traditional weight training would do the opposite. They would use heavy weights and low reps. For building muscle, it depends on your goals. Like if you are a bodybuilder, you'd be wanting to focus on doing lower reps and high weights, like heavy weights, to create that bigger stimulus on your muscles. So if you are looking to do that and you're looking to really build your muscle mass, you'd want to be doing that style of training. If you are looking at it for overall health, you want to build a bit of muscle, you want to shape, you want to, I would say it's like almost more functional, then the stronger workouts are really good for that. Yes, you will build muscle. Yes, you will tone up. No, you will not get bulky. But equally, you won't get bulky doing the other one unless, you're eating like a bodybuilder as well, and you are, you're trying to gain weight, to gain muscle. Yeah, so you won't get bulky either way, really. That I think a lot of people really think that they would do it really easily, but actually it can be really quite difficult, and depending on the individual as well, to really build a lot of muscle mass. So that's kind of the difference. With stronger, there's more of a cardio element. So you're working your heart health, it's choreographed, it is fun, it's more about that muscle endurance, I guess. Whereas traditional weight training is probably more for like your muscle size. It's not necessarily choreographed really. And generally it depends really. Generally, you're not working the whole entire body, depending on what you're going in for. If you're doing splits or whatever, as in like bro splits. Whereas when you do a stronger class, we work the whole entire body. I hope that's answered the question. Let me know if that's useful. But generally, stronger is strength training. If you had like a line and you had the most cardio, as in like a timeline, so the most cardio being, let's say, combat aerobics, running type thing, and then you took it down the line towards strength training, and then you had your bodybuilder strength training right there, I'd kind of sit stronger somewhere in the middle, really, more towards obviously strength training, maybe like 3/4 of the way. But yeah, it's strength training. You're going to work your muscles. You will gain nice lean muscle mass by doing it. It's just different. Okay. Where do I find the hand weight only strength, and how do I break the self-pity cycle? Me, I'm so tired. I had a long day. It's not fair you work so long. Sit down, veg and drink wine. And then me, you're right. Why did I veg? I'm not doing that again. I'm so stupid. Yes, you are. How did you let me persuade you? Tonight will be different. I'll wear my leggings, finish early and get on it. Evening, return to the start of the conversation. So we're in that cycle. Okay, let me just answer the first bit first because that's quick. Where do I find the hand weight only strength? We don't really do that. So yes, we do have workouts that are hand weights only. So you could look at, say, the power walking with light weights or the Pilates with light weights. You see we're using weights there. The one we did this morning did as well. Some of the upper body strength ones. But whenever we use a barbell, like in Stronger, you can use hand weights. It doesn't matter. If you're not sure how to use the hand weights when we're using a barbell, go onto the how-to area of On Demand and I break it down. So I use a barbell and then I use hand weights after, so you know how to use them. If you only have hand weights and light hand weights, I'd strongly advise you to get a barbell so that you can lift heavier, so that you can really create that stimulus on your muscle and work your muscles. It's more effective. It's 100% more effective. And if you have only ever done Stronger with hand weights and you've not tried it with a barbell, well, you need to try it. Put it on your Christmas list. The next bit, how do I break the self-pity cycle? So if you do find that you're getting to the end of the long day, you feel tired and you think, do you know what? I deserve just to chill out right now. I deserve to chill out. And then you do it and then you wake up the next day like, I'm really annoyed at myself. I shouldn't have done that. Then I'm like you said in here, I'm so silly. What you're doing here is you are, one, being a bully to yourself when you're meant to be working with yourself, not against yourself. The more you promote this positive mental attitude, the more you'll, and work with yourself as a friend, the more you'll want to do this as well and you'll feel good about it. So firstly, stop beating yourself up, stop being a bully and start being kind to yourself. Because the thing is, when we set ourselves these standards, like the standard is, okay, I'm going to make sure that I hit 6 workouts this week. If you do that and you hit it, you're like, all right, yeah, I hit my 6 workouts. Great. It's like you set yourself up for these perfect standards. And then if you don't do it, it's like, oh, I'm so stupid. I said I was going to do that and I didn't do it. I can't believe I didn't do it. Yet when we actually do things that we set out to do, we're not patting ourselves on the back when we really should be. So firstly, make sure you commend yourself for the things that you are doing good and focus on that. Focus on the person that you want to be. Secondly, by telling yourself you're going to do something and not fully committing to it and then not doing it, you're providing yourself with evidence that you don't do things. As in, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You will set out, say, I'm going to do a workout when I get home from work. Then you don't do it. Then you feel rubbish that you don't do it. And you're giving yourself evidence that you can't stick to something. So stop giving yourself evidence. Instead, focus on where you want to be. You are the story you tell yourself. So if you tell yourself that I am this person who does this and I'm stuck in a self-pity cycle and I just keep going round and round this cycle, then you will keep going round and round the cycle. If you start telling yourself, that's what I used to do, but now I'm drawing a line and I'm going to focus on doing this instead. I'm going to set myself a realistic plan that I know I can stick to. I'm going to have an ideal number of workouts. That might be, 5 workouts and an absolute bottom minimum that I have to hit in the week. If I need to be flexible, if I've got home from work and do you know what? I am being true to myself and I absolutely have no energy, I'm going to make sure that I get up and do that first thing in the morning so I know it's done. You're still getting your workout in. But if you're getting home from work and you're thinking, I can't be bothered, but you promised yourself you would do that, you need to show up for yourself and give yourself evidence that you can do these things and you will, and focus on where you want to be, the person you want to become. What would they do? Would they say, oh, I couldn't be bothered? Or would they say, I did it, didn't feel like it, but I did it and now I should feel really good and I'm really proud of myself for doing that? And do you see what I mean? It's a different frame of mind. So start, realistic plan, adult yourself, do it, show up for yourself and start providing evidence for yourself that you can and you will. And then when you do those things, give yourself a pat on the back. So I'm really proud of myself for doing that. I feel really good now. Take that tiny little moment to reflect on what's just happened, and you'll start to associate exercise with feeling really good and being really proud of yourself. And then you cracked it. Okay, question number. Let me know if this is helpful, by the way. Question number 10. Do you have any recommendations for healthy UK pub food? Yeah. I would say whenever you go out, so for example, going out to a pub, have a look at the menu. And generally now they start to publish extra information on, don't they? Like the stats and whatnot. And I would say, firstly, if you're looking for something healthy, so something that aligns with your goals, it's not always the salad. I would be looking at things that have lean protein in them. I would be looking for things that say grilled or poached, as opposed to like fried or whatever. I would be asking for the sauces on the side. I would be, rather than ordering the chips with the burger or whatever, I would be having the salad with it and asking for the dressing on the side. And just making sensible choices like that. And when you go out for a dinner as well, maybe having one indulgence with that dinner. So rather than sitting down and eating the burger with the side of chips and then having the pudding and drinking the wine, choose one indulgence that you're going to have that night. You know, if it's a treat. So I'm saying if you're away on holiday or whatever and it's a treat, or it's not like an every night occurrence, for example, then just choose an indulgence that you're going to have that night, because you're allowed to enjoy your food as well. And also, I would be not feeling like you have to finish the whole entire thing. I'd be listening to your body and stopping when you're full. You don't have to eat the whole of the pub meal if you are full or if you are satisfied before finishing it too. So there are things that you can do. Or things like steamed as well, like grilled, poached, steamed. Yeah, I would go with the things like that. And last one, what are your thoughts on protein shakes, and can you recommend a good one? The protein shakes are a supplement to your food. I would always be trying to hit my protein requirements from food and food first. And then if you can't hit them for whatever reason, then be supplementing with protein powders. If you don't know how much protein you should be having, take your body weight in kilos and times it by about 1.5 to 2. If you are an active person, you're on a weight loss journey, or you are perimenopausal, postmenopausal, times it by 1.5 to 2. If you're none of those things, 1 is like the absolute minimum of grams of protein you should have a day. So for a 60 kilo person, you'd want to be aiming for about 90 to 120 grams of protein per day. So do that little exercise now, just write down. And space it throughout your day, because the body can only absorb so much protein at a time. Round about, it depends on the person, the size, metabolism, but round about 25 grams per sitting. So base each meal around a protein source so you can hit your protein requirements. And if you struggle to hit your protein requirements, that's maybe when, you could have like a protein shake in between. You could even add some protein powder to like porridge in the morning if you struggle to get your protein in at breakfast. Little things like that. Another thing you can do is add protein powder to plain yogurt, and it makes this almost like protein fluff, which is quite tasty. So that's, little trick. For protein recommendations, you don't need to go fancy. You really don't need to go fancy. There's so many things out there on the market at the moment. My protein's absolutely fine. My protein, or I just went on Amazon and I've got some Warrior protein at the moment. That's also quite nice, quite tasty. So whatever you fancy, really. You don't need to worry about getting the protein with all the whistles and bells. They just put a massive price tag on it. If you're looking just to get that protein in, my protein's fine. Well, team, we've come to the end of the Q&A. I hope that was extremely insightful. Please let me know in the comments, because I always want to know. Let me know one thing that you've taken from this, or one thing you found really interesting. And I will see you first thing at 6:30 tomorrow, or I will see you at 9:30 for class. Have a lovely, lovely Wednesday evening. Bye, everybody.